So, should you shoot your shot? Should you have a roster? I'm about to give you some unconventional dating tips coming from a dating strategist herself. So, stay tuned to find out. Hey ladies, welcome back to our channel. My name is Jumoke Win and I'm one half of Win at Love. My husband and I, we coach single Christian women to meet, date, and marry eligible Christian men. So if that sounds like something that you're interested in, make sure that you do like, subscribe, and you hit that bell so that you can get more notifications. So here are three unconventional dating tips that I'll give you from a dating strategist. I've been a dating strategist for a couple of years now. Here are three unconventional tips. The first one, I would say, brace yourself. Move locations. I made a reel about this maybe 2 years ago. And when I tell you, people were so upset. They tried to comfort me. I saw these indirect videos of,
we're not hustling for marriage. And I heard someone say, move to the location of the man that you want. We're not hustling for marriages.
and I said, okay, see, this is the problem, right? As Christians, one thing I've noticed about us as a collective is that we really lack social awareness, that we can get so in the clouds and our head is so in the clouds that we lose touch of reality in our circumstances. So I don't think everyone needs to move locations in order to get married, but moving locations is just a form of positioning. Even Ruth in the Bible, she left Moab, went to Israel. Naomi hooked her up with Boaz, but Boaz was not in Moab, right? Sometimes you gotta leave Moab to get to your Boaz. And it's unconventional, but you have to take into account your own situation. I'll give you a few scenarios of the women that I've encountered, especially as a dating strategist, where it is more beneficial for that woman to move. One, we had this one woman that we spoke to that she lived in China. She was a Nigerian woman. She lived in China and she wanted a Nigerian Christian man. Guys, she lives in China, right? Now, I think she was there for work or something. I don't know why she was over there, but ultimately, it did not make sense for her to have such a high preference, right? Because we get really spiritual, but at the end of the day, we have to remember that God cannot force you into marriage. He cannot force anyone to marry the other person. So God has many men in his kingdom, but it's your choice to marry or not. You don't have to marry. You can be celibate. You can take a vow of celibacy, just like nuns and the Pope. They take a vow of celibacy and they abstain from marriage. You can do that if you want to. But if you're saying, I want marriage, and you're essentially, your heart is telling God, I will not accept a man who does not meet these preferences. And sometimes we're not honest about them, but we're not in a position or we're not positioned around that type of man, then we're wasting our time. We're just taking our fertility for granted. We're just in the clouds waiting for him to come down from heaven. That's very silly. So for that woman, she could have either opened herself up to a Chinese man, right? Because she's around mostly Chinese people. The Christian thing, I know that they have underground Christians in China, but they're being persecuted. So she would have to find a way to find an underground Christian community. And then you see what I'm saying? All the hurdles that you have to jump. It is better if she just goes back to Nigeria and gets married. I'm going to give you another example. There's some women who they might live maybe in a lower income area. Now, research and statistics, it is what it is. Again, this idea of we should just be in the clouds is very silly. If you live in a low income area or a poverty stricken area, at least in the United States, the rate of marriage is lower in a lower income area than it is maybe amongst middle and upper class. Middle and upper class have higher rates of marriage than lower class. So if you're only around men who they just want sex, they're not marriageable, they're not marriage minded, they don't value marriage, you staying in that little bubble expecting this high caliber man expecting a man who's a provider, who's godly, who's God-fearing, who has his head on, who went to school, who's educated, right, to come to a low-income area, meet you, want you, and marry you. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, you might have to do your business, maybe even move to a better area so that you can have access to better quality men. Right? I'll give one more example and then I'm going to move on. We have a lot of clients, which is so surprising. I don't know why, but we do. We have a lot of clients who are Seventh-day Adventist, and that is a denomination Christianity. Now, it's already difficult to find a man who's a born-again believer for some women, but then if you add another barrier of SDA, and then women have other high preference. I want an SDA man. I want a man who's tall. I want a man who's handsome. I want a man who's educated. I want a man who can provide. It is so bad. I want a man who's my age. It's like, okay, if you are in a country that does not have a large population of that type of man, you should either extend your search to other countries. Maybe if you're in the UK and there are not many SDA men in your country or around you, you may want to look into another state or another district, another province, another country. Maybe are there other countries around you? You don't even have to go to another continent. Maybe you can still stay in Europe, but still try to broaden your horizons. Go to national or international conferences of the type of man that you are searching for. So all this to say, this is not for everyone. Some of you might already be positioned in front of your ideal man. You just probably don't know how to attract him. That's a different issue. But for some women, the issue really is positioning. So let me go on to the next one. The next unconventional dating tips that I would give you is to make the first move. Now, I know this is essentially shoot your shot, right? And for some people, they're like,
oh, I'm not supposed to shoot my shot. It's the man that's supposed to do this, and he's supposed to pursue. He's supposed to chase me.
Yes, but when I say shoot your shot or make the first move, I'm just talking about making your presence known. I'm not talking about shooting a romantic shot. That's different, okay? Don't do that. Don't go to a man and say, I likes you and I wants you. I'm gonna take you on a date. Don't do that one, okay? But as far as just shooting your shot and making yourself known, it could be as simple as just showing yourself friendly, initiating conversation. One of our clients, she is amazing at this. We call her Riz Master Flex, right? She can go up to any man and just start any conversation. Super flirtatious, super feminine. She had this one opener that she told us. I thought it was so cute. She might be in a coffee shop or in a cafe, and she's like, oh my gosh. She's like, life or death situation. Which one should I pick? Blueberry or chocolate muffin, right? Like life or death situation. But obviously she's just, she's just gisting, she's just toying. And the guy be like, oh my gosh, chocolate. And she's like, can't really trust your taste buds, not chocolate, right? And then, she just opens up the conversation. She lets go of the outcome. She's just being playful, feminine, flirty. That is okay to do. Back then, women used to drop their handkerchief to show a man that I am open, right? It was a way to save face. That's why I said don't shoot a romantic shot, but make yourself known. Show yourself friendly. Just, hey, how are you? Or, I like your shoes. Where did you get it? This is what I mean by shooting your shot. You don't have to sit here in just this little tiny bubble and just, oh, I existed and nobody approached me. Okay, so then talk to people, right? So if no one is approaching you, you have the option to just open your mouth and initiate conversation. You can just save face. It's up to the man to push things forward, but ultimately, if you see a man that you fancy, he looks interesting, or, is just showing yourself friendly. Release control of the outcome. Just say hi. And if he thinks that you're attractive, which is why you should always stay ready so you never gotta get ready. Hello, I always tell my clients, throw away all your bummy clothes. You need to always look presentable when you leave the house because you never know when fate is gonna meet you. But I always say, put yourself together well, and whenever you do see an opportunity, just take it. Even if it doesn't lead anywhere, it's okay. But you missed 100% of the shots that you don't take. And my last Unconventional dating tip would be to have a roster. Ooh, juicy, juicy. So when I say have a roster, I'm not talking about worldly roster dating and having a rotation of men that you're sleeping with. I think when people hear the word dating, and which is why some people they try to they look down on what my husband and I are doing because we use the word dating. But dating is just a catch-all term. They say it should be courtship. A rose is a rose by any other name. It doesn't matter. I hear too many Christians say we were friends and we didn't date. But you guys were dating. Dating is simply collecting data. You collected data with one person and you both decided, I have enough data to make a decision to marry you. That's what dating is. The end. Whether you call it dating, whether you call it courtship, whether you call it friend dating, whatever, it's all the same thing. Now, when I say roster dating, it's important as a woman that you don't prematurely tie yourself to any one man. Women make this mistake all the time that a man that they like says hi, they take themselves off the dating market, fall into a situationship, start chasing this man, hoping he's going to push things forward, take their fertility for granted. Then what do you know? 3 years pass by and they're still begging this man to choose them. Don't do that, right? But sometimes you're in a stage that you have not collected enough information about a person to make a decision. And in those cases, you should keep yourself open. For example, let's say you meet Tunde on Monday. You meet Tunde on Monday at the grocery store. He thinks you're hot. He thinks you're interesting. He asks for your number. He says, hey, let's go on a date on Friday. Sure. That's great. You just met Tunde. Let's say on Wednesday, you meet Jerry. You met Jerry at church, I don't know, or a mutual friend, I don't know. And Jerry, you get to know him. He says, hey, let's go on a date on Saturday. What should you do? Go on a date with both of them. Why? Because you do not have enough information to prematurely commit to either man. Now, if you just happen to be getting to know one person at one time, and that's just how the cards play out, that's different. However, I'm just cautioning when I say roster dating, it's more about having a mindset and understanding I'm someone's wife. Am I your wife? And knowing that, hey, I'm not here to play patty cake with every Tom, Dick, and Harry, and to sit here and prematurely tie myself to a man who has not even shown his intentions for me yet. He has not even taken me on a date. He hasn't even got me any flowers. Nothing. He hasn't tried to woo me. Nothing. Right? We don't even know each other's middle name. Right? Like, this is just a man that I don't know from Adam. Okay? I'm just getting to know. There is romantic interest, but ultimately we don't know each other enough to take both of ourselves off the dating market. Now, again, if you do meet a guy, it's just one guy, after a week of getting to know him, you guys hit it off, you guys click. Okay, you don't need to keep opening yourself up if this is a guy that you really want to be with and you both, again, mutual. Keyword here is mutual. The operative word here is mutual. Okay, it has to be mutual, not one-sided, not I am committed to him and I'm closing myself off of every guy on the dating market, even though he's not feeling me like that yet. He doesn't know me. Ladies, let's stop doing that. He doesn't know me. He hasn't taken me on a date. He hasn't tried to woo me. He has not identified me as a good thing. So all this to say, keep yourself open. Keep yourself open until you have collected enough data to actually commit to a man. Even when you do commit to a man and you take yourself off the dating market, it is temporary. This is what we call a risk management strategy. You don't commit to a man for longer than what you have previously put out in your mind that you were going to give every single man. And it has to be consistent across the board. Okay? So it's not because I like this man more, I'm going to give him 10 months. But this guy, I kind of liked him, but whatever, it's only 1 month. You know what I'm saying? Like, it has to be a plan. You need a plan before you start dating. And if you don't know how to create a plan for yourself when it comes to dating, make sure that you do join us in our program. If you want to join us in our program, you can definitely click the link below so that we can walk you through this. We can help create a plan for you so that you're not going into dating blindsided. You get to the altar sooner than later. And I hope that this video helped you. Which tip blew your mind the most? Which was the most unconventional tip for you? Do you disagree? Do you agree? Was this an aha moment? Let me know how you guys feel about this video in the comment section, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!